to kind of start their Arabic program because of my experience in starting Arabic programs in those previous universities. And, the rest is history.
Wow. So this journey for you has pretty much been from the time you came out of the womb, from birth. Were you in the town that you grew up in? Was it an Arab speaking town, or did you speak Arabic there?
Multilingual society, very diverse in its geography and its history, and also its people and the languages they speak. So I was born, or I'm what we call in the West a Berber, but what the word that we use in North Africa and in Morocco is in particular is Amazigh. So I'm an Amazigh, native of North Africa. My parents are both from two different Amazigh tribes. So being born in Morocco, the first language was Amazigh, which we spoke in the house, but also Arabic, because both my parents spoke Arabic. So Amazigh and Arabic were both, two languages that we spoke in the house. Add to that, my father was a kind of a francophone and did his study in French. And Morocco, the official language is, of course, Arabic and Berber, but French plays a dominant part in the society. So growing up, I spoke all these three languages from early age: Amazigh, Arabic, and French. Of course, each has its own, kind of situation. Each was spoken in an environment and with a goal. But I can say that I'm fluent in all three of them because I started learning them from an early age.
Now, this is a question that wasn't that wasn't pre-planned, but I got to ask you this.
Yes.
Because many of us in the group, we study historical migration patterns and things like that. We're interested in cultural activity, ancient antiquity records and things like that. So we get into like a lot of the North African tribes, South African tribe, West African tribes, and Central Africa, things like that, Middle East. And is it true that they are, because you said that you a Berber, right? Is it true that there are Berbers that not only is your hue and complexion, but would be my complexion?
Of course, yes, sir. Yeah,
Wow.
like if you go to Morocco, you have different tribes of Berbers. My parents, for example, talking about my parents, they both come from different tribes. One from the south, and one from the Atlas Mountains, which is central, Morocco. But of course, the more you go south, the more you see Berber tribes that have different complexities that the northerners, or the people who are in the north. The tribes, or the Berber tribes of the north, have complexity, and features similar to Europeans. You see when it comes to the height and the color of the skins and the colors of, for example, the eyes and the hair. Similar to Europeans. But the more you go south, you see tribes that are similar in complexity to, let's say, West African, for example. So you have this diversity in the Berber people themselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah, different tribes, and theoretically. There are two theories about the history of the Berber people, or the Berbers, that some tribes came from Yemen through the Arabia and through the Sahara Desert, and inhabited North Africa, and another tribe or Berber tribes that came from North Europe, which is what we refer to nowadays in kind of Sweden, Germany, in north of Europe, and came south and inhabited also in North Africa. Of course, we were talking about millions of years, thousands of years ago. There was not, North Africa and Europe. So that's why you have one people, but very diverse. One language. Of course, in the language itself, it's diverse in dialect, but it's one Amazigh language, one Amazigh people, but of course, diverse in their, the way they look and their culture as well.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up Yemen, because when I did my DNA test a few years ago, I had a strong Yemen that showed up in my DNA, and so that was very interesting, as well as Moroccan Jew is in my DNA as well.
well, we share the same DNA, William, because I did my DNA as well a couple of years ago, and yeah, I have a Jewish DNA, and of course some Arabic DNA, but right. The majority of it is not a Berber.
Yeah, that's awesome.